Good evening. We are bringing you commentary of Leicester City versus Southampton today from the FA Cup semi-final. I'm your alternative commentator Russ Vernon and you are listening to Football Commentary Live. Well, let's take a look at the two teams then for this evening's game. So in goal and captain for Leicester City today is number 1 Kasper Schmeichel. Then the back three is number 3 Wesley Fofana, 4 Kaglos Soyuncu, and number 6 Johnny Evans. Then at right wing back we have got number 21 Ricardo Pereira. Left wing back is number 27 Timothy Castagna, with 25 Wilfred Ndidi and number 8 Yuri Tillemans making up the midfield for Leicester today. Then just behind the front two is number 17 Ayoze Perez, and the front two I refer to is number 14 Kelechi Iheanacho and number 9 Jamie Vardy. On the bench for Leicester, number 12 Danny Ward, number 10 James Maddison, number 11 Mark Albrighton, number 18 Daniel Amate, number 19 Chexins Under, number 20 Hamza Chowdhury, number 24 Nampalys Mendy, 26 Dennis Pryor, and number 33 Luke Thomas. As for Southampton, in goal, number 44 Fraser Forster, number 2 Kyle Walker-Peters, number 35 Jan Bednarek, number 4 Yannick Vestergaard, and number 3 Ryan Bertrand. In midfield, number 17 Stuart Armstrong, 27 Ibrahim Diallo, number 8 and captain James Ward-Prowse, and number 12 Musa Djenepo. And then leading the line is number 9 Danny Ings alongside number 11 Nathan Redmond. The substitutes today is number 1 Alex McArthur, the sub-goalkeeper, 5 Jack Stevens, 10 Che Adams, 22 Mohamed Salisu, 23 Nathan Teller, 32 Theo Walcott, number 40 Dan Nludu, number 47 is Will Ferry, and number 64 is Alexandra Yankovic. The referee today is Chris Kavanagh. He's assisted by Dan Cook and Sean Massey Ellis, with David Coote on for official duty. VAR is Paul Tierney alongside Adam Nunn, and the reserve assistant is Nick Upton. For this evening's FA Cup semi-final kick-off is at 6:30 this evening. We will now take a look at the earlier scores from the other matches that have been played today, and we'll start off in the Premier League. Arsenal 1, Fulham 1, Manchester United 3, Burnley 1. Scottish Cup, Stranraer 0, Hibernian 4, Rangers 2, Celtic 0. In the EFL Championship, Rotherham United 0, Birmingham City 1, Coventry City 2, Barnsley 0. In the Women's FA Cup 4th round, these are all full-time scores, and I can run you through of them. There's quite a few of those, so we'll just run you through them right now. We've got about 10 minutes until kick-off in our featured match. It's number 5, it finished Birmingham City 5, Coventry United 1, West Ham United 11, Chichester and Sellesley Ladies 0, Arsenal 10, Gillingham 0, Brighton Hove Albion 1, Bristol City 0, Burnley 0, Manchester United 6, Crystal Palace 3, London Bees 0, Everton 2, Durham 1, Huddersfield Town 3, Derby 2, Leicester City 1, Liverpool 0, Lewes 1, Southampton 2, Middlesbrough 0, Sheffield United 9, Oxford United 1, Charlton Athletic 2 after extra time, Reading 2, Tottenham Hotspur 3 after extra time, and Wolves 2, Blackburn 5. There's a few games that's been played in the Bundesliga. That result is finished. Borussia Dortmund 4, Werder Bremen 1. In Italian Serie A, it's currently it finished AC Milan 2, Genoa 1, Atalanta 1, Juventus 0, Bologna 4, Spezia 1, Lazio 5, Benevento 3. Currently on 57 minutes is Torino 1, Roma 1, Napoli against Inter Milan is a 7:45 kickoff. So bring you some of the score updates in that one. In French League A, Paris Saint-Germain beat Saint-Etienne 3-2, whilst Monaco beat Bordeaux 3-0. Dijon beat Nice 2-0. Nimes and Strasbourg and Brest and Lens both drew 1 apiece. Reims and Metz played out a goalless draw. I've mentioned Bordeaux losing 3-0 to Monaco. Nantes against Lyon is at 8 o'clock kickoff this evening. In the Australian A-League, Sydney FC drew 2-2 with Adelaide United. Macarthur FC drew 2-2 with Newcastle Jets, while Perth Glory lost 3-1 to Wellington Phoenix. In that game, we've got some results from La Liga. Osasuna 2, Elche 0, Real Sociedad 1, Sevilla 2, Alaves 1, Esca 0, Atletico Madrid 5, Eibar 0. At half time is Cadiz 0, Celta Vigo 0, and Real Betis 2, Valencia 1. Real Madrid take on Getafe at 8 o'clock. Also, Levante take on Villarreal. Great games coming up for you then on the Channel FA Cup action this evening, where Brendan Rodgers has restored Jose Perez to the starting lineup. He was dropped from the squad against West Ham last week, along with James Maddison and Hamza Chowdhury were back on the bench. They were omitted for attending a party. Perez came into the starting lineup with Kaglar Soyuncu as well. Moussa Djinepo has replaced Theo Walcott, who was on the bench in Southampton's only change for this game. We're looking forward to bringing you this one today. I was speaking to a few people earlier on, and I said I was looking forward to that. Some stats ahead of kick-off. Southampton have won 2 of their last FA Cup meetings, with Leicester beating them 1-0 in 2006 and 2-0 in January 2008, both in January. Leicester beat Southampton 2-0 in the Premier League earlier this season. They have not beaten Saints twice in the same season since 2011-12 in the Championship. This is Leicester's 8th FA Cup semi-final, won 4, lost 3, the first since 1982 when they lost 2-0 to the winners of that FA Cup, which were Tottenham Hotspur, having won 2 of their first 3 FA Cup semi-final ties between 1898 and 1902. Southampton have progressed from just 2 of their subsequent 9 matches, 1976 and 2003. Leicester have lost all 3 of their matches at the new Wembley Stadium, with the last victory coming at Wembley in the 2000 League Cup final against Tranmere in a 2-1 victory. There's not just only a big game because it's an FA Cup semi-final, but tonight 2,000 fans, 4,000 fans will be in attendance this evening. 2,000 fans are in attendance at either side of the ground, behind either net. On one occasion it is to see fans back after the ongoing coronavirus pandemic as part of the roadmap and is a trial event. The players are in the tunnel ahead of kick-off. We'll take a short break, but when we come back, we'll have full commentary on Leicester City against Southampton in the FA Cup semi-final. Welcome back then as the teams make their way out onto the field of play as Leicester and Southampton made their way out onto the field of Wembley. Fans back in the stadium, which is good to see, clapping as their teams made their way onto the field of play. And Sean Massey Ellis, I mentioned this, she's one of the officials. She's got the yellow flag in her hand. Dan Cook with the checkered flag. Chris Kavanagh leading now the officials. This game, fantastic to see fans inside the stadium, and let's hope for a good game this evening. We'll be probably taking a minute's silence in memory of Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, who sadly passed away. We'll look at through the starting lineups again. Is Kasper Schmeichel in goal for Leicester, Cagliostro Soyuncu, Johnny Evans, Wesley Fofana, Conor Pereira, Yuri Tillemans, Wilfred Ndidi, Timothy Castagna, and Jose Perez, Jimmy Vardy, Kelechi Iheanacho on the bench. Danny Ward, James Madison, Mark Albrighton, Daniel Amate, Hamza Chowdhury, James Madison, Nampalys Mendy, Dennis Pratt, Luke Thomas, and Cengiz Under. As for Southampton, it's Forster in goal, Walker Peters, Benrahad, Vestergaard, Bertrand, Armstrong, Diallo, Ward, Prowse, the captain, Gineppo, Ings, Redmond, the bench on McCarthy, Adams, Ferry, Yankovic, and Ludu, Salisu, Stevens, Teller, and Walcott. Should be a good game this afternoon. Hopefully you're enjoying the coverage. We've not kicked off yet. Hopefully you'll enjoy the match. And we'll bring you tonight's Leicester 3-4-3 this evening. Southampton 4-4-2. Gineppo and Armstrong out wide for Southampton. Present Iheanacho out wide of Jamie Vardy, Conor Pereira, Timothy Castagna, all the wing backs with Tillemans and Ndidi in midfield. Soyuncu on the right, Fofana on the left, Evans in the middle with Kasper Schmeichel their goalkeeper between the sticks. And we'll be now taking another short break very soon as we get ready to pay tributes to His Royal Highness the Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. The minute silence observed impeccably there, and the players are now ready to kick off. Leicester just taking off their jackets and passing them across to one of their coaches. Getting some final words from Brendan Rodgers. Ready to kick off as well. We're almost set to go then in the second FA Cup semi-final. Chelsea won their place in the final after beating Manchester City 1-0 yesterday. Kelechi Iheanacho 9 goals in his last 6 appearances in all competitions, and we're looking forward to a very good game this evening. Danny Ings, 10 goals this season, 1 in the FA Cup. Will he add to that FA Cup goal this evening as we get ready to get underway at Wembley, which will be Leicester kicking us off in blue, all in blue, Southampton all in white, Leicester attacking the goal to my left in the first half, Southampton to my right. Southampton on their white shirts have got a red stripe down the middle as Chris Kavanagh has scored the game off and underway and Leicester kick us off, attacking the goal to my left. As I said, Perez wins an early header, but the ball is hit forward by Diallo, looking towards Armstrong, and Soyuncu is across there to tidy up well and be a good game this evening then, as we look forward to watching this matches. Leicester just have a bit of early possession with Soyuncu down the line. He's headed forward by Benarek and Vestergaard in there. Benarek this time wins his header and he's gone out for a throw to Leicester City, which Ricardo Pereira comes across to take. Ralph Arsenal to the manager of Southampton done well since he came into St Mary's as Gineppo now knocks the ball back to Forster, who takes a touch, finds Benarek, who clears first time with his left foot over towards Danny Ings, who flicks on for Musa Gineppo to chase, but Evans is across there to tidy up well, and the ball breaks kindly for Vestergaard, who now takes a touch back to his goalkeeper, and Forster clears long downfield, left-footed that time, onto the head of Soyuncu, who heads into the path of Pereira, who kicks forward. We call her Pereira there. Mushinepo now is about for Southampton. Southampton now just enjoying a bit of possession. 1.5 minutes gone in this game. Leicester 0, Southampton 0. If you're wanting to join us, as Soyuncu wins their own to indeed you push the ball out for a throw. Brendan Rodgers has done well for Leicester, and be very interested to see how well they can do and if they can get to the final. Winners will play Chelsea in the final, as I said, as Walker Peters takes a throw back to Benarek, and Benarek across to Vestergaard, who now looks to try and pick out Bertrand on the overlap, but he can't pick him out, and he sends a long one ball forward look for Danny Ings, but Evans is across there, and Evans has to concede the first corner of the semi-final. Leicester 0, Southampton 0. If you've just joined us, hopefully you're doing okay. It's going out for a throw instead of a corner. It looked like he's going out for a corner initially. Bertrand across there to tear the throw. Then he's got Ings and Gineppo trying to help him out. And he finds Gineppo back to Bertrand, who puts the ball out. And now for Fofana, will take a throw for Leicester. Deep inside their own half on the far side. The side where the tunnel is, and Walcott there, who has done well for Southampton in his return to the club. He's on the bench today though, not starting. He was dropped to the bench ahead of this game, and we're looking forward to seeing how he reacts to that should he get on the field of play this evening. Musa Gineppo replaced him in the starting lineup. Here's Armstrong. Now Ward-Prowse. Southampton just knocking the ball around kindly. Now into Diallo, and Diallo plays the ball forward, but giving the ball away. And now Southampton will keep possession. Here's Ward-Prowse. Diallo gets it back from Iheanacho, but then challenge won by Vardy, and he's gone down Vardy in the keepers, but Tillman's fetches it on. Our trouser, Perez will kill in effort just wide. Just wide from Jose Perez. Chris Kavanagh blows his whistle as Vardy remains down and injured as the Foxes striker on the Wembley turf. It was a challenge from Diallo, and will Ibrahim Diallo going to book here? The referee's going for his book here now. It's a yellow card is pulled out. Right in the name of Ibrahim Diallo on that card, and it's a first yellow card inside the 4.5 minutes, and there was a stamp on Jamie Vardy there. The VAR, which is poked in, it could have a look at this. And then a good curling effort in the end from Perez. Just couldn't trouble Forster inside the goal, and Southampton have a man less. Jimmy Vardy is still down for less, so we have a breaking play at the moment. Mike has just joined us. Thank you very much, Mike. He says, yes, I have just joined you. Hopefully you're doing okay. We played 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes in this match, and Diallo with a stamp on Jimmy Vardy there could have been a potentially red, but Chris Kavanagh, the referee, has only gone for a yellow card there, which a bit lenient in my opinion. I thought a red would have probably come out there, but it's only a yellow for the Southampton midfielder, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes for this rest of the game, because I know he likes to put a tackle in, does Ibrahim Diallo. Mike has gone on to say he's only here for a short while. I know that, Mike, but thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you're doing okay, mate. We've come up towards the 6th minute, and we're ready to get back underway as Vardy makes his way off of the field. He's now putting some blue strapping on his sock, but Southampton fetch the ball forward with Yannick Benrack, who finds Ward Prowse on to Walker Peters, and now back to Benrack, and Southampton just passing the ball around quite a bit here. Now Walker Peters back into Benrack, and now Diallo's on that booking. You may remember a few moments ago, foul on Jamie Vardy. Perez goes in for a challenge on Walker Peters, but Walker Peters comes away with the ball. Now feeds Diallo and back to Vestergaard. Vestergaard knocks the ball forward into the path of Danny Ings. Now on toward Prowse, and he's got Armstrong outside of him. He's got Lemond downside if he wants to use him, but he goes inside to Diallo. Now Walker Peters. And Walker Peters will play the ball back to Benrack, and he'll find Vestergaard, and Vestergaard picks out Ryan Bertrand, and he knocks the ball down the line to Musa Gineppa, and it's a free kick to Southampton. Foul on Gineppa by Fofana. Late challenge there from Wesley Fofana, and he's lucky not to go in the book there. See a few people in the crowd. It's good to see crowd back inside Wembley Stadium. Leicester 0, Southampton 0 is the score. Fofana on the screen there is from Saint Etienne, and done well since he's come straight into the side and performed really, really well. Leicester 0, Southampton 0 is the scoreline. You're listening to Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentary. I'll tell you how you can get in touch with us in a few moments' time if you want to get in touch with us. That is, you don't have to get in touch, but if you want to, we'll let you know how. We have played 8 minutes, and it's still Leicester 0, Southampton 0. Don't forget you can follow Football Commentary Live on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is at Commentary Live 1. Why not visit our Facebook page? The best way to follow Football Commentary Live, go to facebook.com/footcomlive. And hopefully you'll be able to enjoy this game. And if you're watching and you want to sync up with the pictures with our commentary, then we are currently on towards 9 minutes, and we'll lean over with that 9-minute mark as Armstrong gives the ball to Walker Peters, who can come forward and run. 9 minutes now if anyone wants to sync up with us, as Southampton with Ndidi lost out for Ndidi there. Southampton did with Walker Peters, and but Southampton get the ball back with Jan Benrack. And as Mike said, you don't have to get in touch with us, but you'd be mad not to get in touch with us. And we're quite right there, Mike. Remember not to get in touch with us on Football Commentary Live. You can tweet us at Commentary Live 1 as I mentioned, and let us know your score prediction. Let us know where you're listening from as well and and if you've got any food, we'd like to see pictures of that. Just tweet him to our Commentary Live 1 and we'll have a look when we get to breaking play. Soyuncu and Danny Ings went chasing after that loose ball, and Kasper Schmeichel got there ahead of both Danny Ings and Soyuncu to clear downfield. He's going to have for a throw to Southampton, but good ball forward from Musa Nepo to find Danny Ings in behind, but Kasper Schmeichel read the danger well. He's come off Armstrong and he's come off got a prayer after Armstrong trying to play the ball down the line, and he's out for a throw to Southampton, which Walker Peters will take back to Jan Bednarek, and Bednarek to finds Bertrand, who knocks the ball forward, looking to pick out Danny Ings again, but Michael's across there to watch the ball without a play and behind for a goal kick. But what I want to say is, if you are not watching this game and you're just listening to it, it's great to have crowds back inside the stadium, and you can see them with the masks on, sat inside Wembley watching this game, and stewards there as well, making sure they all behave, and fantastic to see some form of crowds, even if it is key workers inside the stadium, and fantastic to see them enjoying themselves this evening. Perez flicks the ball on looking for Iheanacho and Vardy to chase. Perez fetches it back down as the ball brought back towards him, but then there's the ball run out of play by Ndidi for a throw to Southampton. Leicester and Southampton yet to really test the opposite number, which is Kasper Schmeichel and Fraser Forster, but hopefully we'll get some goals in this game. I won't mention the Arsenal score too much on this broadcast with Mike Honeyman being here, but 1-0 draw with Fulham, not very good for Arsenal in their quest to climb up the table, as Soyuncu finds Pereira now for a throw to Leicester here. It came off Walker Peters. And you're listening to Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentary. There's some tweets coming in to us already, I think. Let's have a look at that. I think we've had one coming already for us. We'll have a look at your tweets so you can get involved. Just tweet us at Commentary Live 1 if you want to get involved with the programme, and we'll read them out as and when we can. As Gav Southgate's in attendance. Mike has responded to that comment about Arsenal. We'll let to you in a few moments as Kasper Schmeichel just takes a touch for clearing downfield, right-footed, looking towards Jimmy Vardy. Bednarek wins the header, indeed he fetches the ball down, and Soyuncu has possession. I can bring you that comment from Mike. Now he says, we don't care about the league, mate. More focused on the Europa League, so that's where Mike's priorities is. He thinks that's where Arsenal's priority is as well. We'll get back to mentions in a moment. Mike has actually commented and he says, can't see this one being a 9-0, but I can see Leicester going on and getting the win here by either 2-1 or a 3-1 scoreline. And Southampton have a man down there, as I was reading out Mike's comment. You can get involved with us if you would want to get to do so. Just like Mike has done, tweet a Commentary Live 1 or reply to the feed of the game on our Twitter feeders. It was Armstrong who went down under a challenge from Jose Perez, who little stamp on his foot, nothing in with that in Leicester. We see the free kick. 14 and a half minutes gone in this match is still Leicester nil, Southampton nil. The ball is brought down and is out of play for a throw to Leicester off a Diallo's headed ball out wide, which couldn't find Gineppo or Bertrand. And Fafana plays a crossfield pass to pick out Ricardo Pereira. He fetches it down on his chest and then he'll nod the ball back to Soyuncu. Soyuncu across to Wesley Fafana again. He's got Timothy Castagno outside of him if he wants to use him, and he does. Down the line he goes into Iheanacho, trying to nod the ball forward, back into the path of Castagno, but Leicester have conceded possession, and now Ward-Prowse picks up from Gineppo's pass. Across into Walker-Peters, who knocks the ball back into Benarek. Diallo back to Forster, and he's lucky there was no one on him in a Leicester shirt, otherwise that could have been a bit of problem there for the Saints goalkeeper. Pereira knocks the ball down the line with Southampton, gives the ball away again as Tillemans knocks the ball back to Johnny Evans, who has done well so far in the opening few minutes of this game, 15 minutes of this game, when Leicester have had to defend. And Leicester have just won a free kick foul on Castagno over on that far side. I think it was by Bertrand. And we can see this now. Was it Bertrand or Vestergaard? It was actually Vestergaard who kicked him in the back of his ankle. Soyuncu with the ball forward. Here's Ricardo Pereira. Down the line it goes, giving away to Walker-Peters. Back into Soyuncu. Now Ndidi across to Fafana, and Leicester just keeping possession well and just holding the ball well when they have had possession. So Southampton are keeping the ball well, but no real good chances to know yet for either siders. Vernon gives the ball away. Now Perez comes forward. Perez knocks the ball on towards Iheanacho, going to go and end of that there, and now Southampton will break. His walk is Armstrong, now Diallo, and now Gineppo. Gineppo knocks the ball back into the path of Bertrand, who takes a touch and clears first time down the line, and is knocked over the board, which has got the FA Cup semi-final. So now where the tunnel is, James Madison on the bench with Chowder just sat behind. They're all sat on a different row to everybody, and they're just having a little natter between themselves and Leicester. See a man go down over there, which is Iheanacho. No free kick given for a foul on Kelechi Iheanacho, and Southampton win the free kick for a foul on Bertrand by Timothy Castagno, and Bertrand stays down, and now he makes his way back up onto the field of play. Leicester nil, Southampton nil in the opening 80 minutes or so in this game. You're listening to Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentary, your one true alternative commentary station. If you're out and about and you want to listen to us, you can get us on YouTube or Periscope or on Twitch as well. You can take us anywhere and you can listen to our commentaries on all the games that we bring to you between now and the end of the season. We'll have a few Euro matches as well. We have got Southampton in possession with Redmond, who will take on Tillemans, and now he's back with Gineppo to was Diallo, but Southampton give the ball away now. Tillemans finds Jose Perez, and now Leicester coming forward. How wide it goes from Ricardo Pereira. Down the line, it goes from Pereira, but Ward-Prowse is back to tidy up and defend fantastically well there. Leicester nil, Southampton nil. Here's the scoreline if you've just tuned in. We're approaching the 19th minute mark, and we're on 19 minutes now. 19:01, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you want to sync up your TVs with us. As Soyuncu plays the ball into the path of Ricardo Pereira. Back he goes to Soyuncu, and now Johnny Evans, who is keeping the ball well. Evans across now to Soyuncu, and Soyuncu now back inside to Tillemans. Tillemans away from his man and gives the ball away. It's Armstrong who picks up for Southampton, and Armstrong has the ball out wide for Redmond, who puts the ball towards the penalty area. Kept alive at the back post by Bertrand, but no one in a white shirt can get there. It wasn't Bertrand, it was Danny Ings who kept the ball alive at the back post there. And then Fofana clears it away and gives it to Bertrand. Now Ward Prowse and now Gineppo for Southampton. Good play this from the Saints. Good pressure in the opening 20 minutes or so as Diallo finds Ward Prowse and Ward Prowse knocks it all the way back to his goalkeeper Force. Outside his penalty area and he clears long. Right footed over to the right side where Armstrong is and gives the ball away. Now Perez comes forward. On this near side is now Vardy. Back to Pereira. Down the line for Jose Perez. He's onside. Jose Perez inside the penalty area. So good Jose Perez goes down after trying to get the ball across. No penalty there. And Southampton will fetch the ball clear. And he's across now with Musa Gineppo. Musa Gineppo and Ryan Bertrand just keeps on the possession of his Leicester 0, Southampton 0. 21 minutes on the clock. Hopefully you're doing okay. And enjoying the coverage. I'm not going to get on to the European Super League because it may cause a debate between some of the people listening. So I just want to get by this and just focus on this game that we're going on here as Leicester God wins and Eder looking as Leicester trying to get Ian Adrian behind there. And now Diallo with possession. Still goalless then if you're just joining us on Football Commentary Live. It's coming up towards 22 minutes on the clock as Gineppo fetches the ball forward, cuts inside. Evans puts the foot in and wins the ball back, and now Jose Perez knocks it back to Ricardo Pereira and knocks it down the line for Jamie Vardy. Over the head of Benarak and back comes Ward Prowse to get the ball back in Southampton defending well. Hopefully you're doing okay. As Ward Prowse collects possession. Leicester 0, Southampton 0 is the scoreline as Southampton just keeping possession, knocking the ball around while Armstrong takes it away from Pereira but runs the ball out of plays. But it's come off Pereira in the end according to the officials. It didn't look like that to me. And now Benarak has possession. On to Vestergaard. Across now to Ryan Bertrand. Back it goes to Forster who kicks long downfield onto Armstrong who can't keep the ball in as he tries chasing it down to keep the ball moving forward for Southampton, and Leicester have the ball back. There's Iheanacho, turns away. Now Vardy picks up. Vardy on to Iheanacho. Iheanacho back into Jamie Vardy. Vardy into the penalty and strikes. Just saved in the end as it were going wide in anyway, but Forster didn't realise, and it's still Leicester 0, Southampton 0. You're listening to Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentaries. Vardy's strike was charged down by Vestergaard and is claimed by Forster. Vestergaard just down. He staying down at the moment. He seems to be in some discomfort there as Ings just takes in a bit of instructions and fluids from Ralph Alson-O'Toole, his manager. As we just watch that challenge again, he blocked just a little stand there in the air. Nothing really in that, and Southampton seem to be doing well here. Leicester 0, Southampton 0 is the scoreline if you're just tuning into us here on Football Commentary Live. Now, I know Iheanacho can't get down. Southampton with Vestergaard just knocks the ball out just make sure he wins a throw for his team. Under pressure from Kelechi Iheanacho there, and Vardy likes to cause a few problems for his side. Leicester nil, Southampton nil. Here's a scoreline. We'll be bringing you commentary right through to the end of its conclusion, whether it goes to extra time and potentially penalties. We'll bring you commentary on that. And Southampton have a throw down the line. As Armstrong now picks the ball up into Walker Peters. Now Kyle Walker Peters will look to try and get Southampton on the attack. Will he know he go back to James Ward-Prowse and across now to Benderek. Back toward Prowse, who keeps all the possession and then clears long downfield. Sayuchu knocks the ball out and is out for a throw. Leicester nil, Southampton nil. And a good play from Southampton last few minutes. Iheanacho putting under pressure of putting Diallo under a bit of pressure there, and he's still goalless if you're just tuning into a 0 Football Commentary Live. Here's Armstrong. Good ball forward. Trying to pick out Danny Ings, and now Tillemans wins possession. Back to Evans to find Ricardo Pereira, who takes a touch with his right foot and plays it down the line with his left, and doing so gives the ball back to Southampton. And now Ward-Prowse as if for the Saints. Now Gineppo across into the path of Ryan Bertrand, his left back. He's got Raymond inside of him and he uses that option, and now he plays inside to Ings, falling towards Redmond, who's only pressure from Fawn, who does well to tidy up. Leicester wins his header now. Tillemans hits the ball forward. Vardy wins his header now into to Perez after a good bit of play between Vardy and Tillemans. Vardy back to Perez. Perez across and can't pick out Iheanacho. Good bit of play there from Leicester City. Couldn't pick out product there though in the end, and Iheanacho finds it just wide, and Leicester nil. Southampton nil is the scoreline. Good start from both sides. Still goalless then if you're just joining us. Just had a few technical issues with the sound there. We just had to resolve those for a few moments. But we are back now with the action. Just lost out for just a couple of minutes, but we've regained connection. 0-0 is the score between Leicester and Southampton. You're listening to Football Commentary Live. Ings on the edge of the penalty. Danny Ings goes inside, goes on the edge of the box. No foul, says Chris Kavanagh. Iheanacho picks up possession for Leicester, but Diallo wins it back, and then Leicester win it back. Then Ward-Prowse wins it back. Now Jose Perez wins it back. Iheanacho, indeed, they can't pick out Perez, and now Redmond has it back. Diallo trying to pick out the Musa Gineppo on that far side, but he's fouled Wesley Fofana, and it's a free kick to Leicester. I'm just looking at that challenge again on Danny Ings by indeed they are meant to him nothing in that. For me, I think the referee Chris Kavanagh got that spot on. Soyuncu has possession. Evans into the path of Fofana. Fofana again. Down the line he goes into Iheanacho. Down the line he goes from Iheanacho from Castagna. Castagna sees the team win a throw-in. Still goalless if you're just joining us. We've played coming towards the 30th minute mark in this game. Leicester 0, Southampton 0, and Leicester with Vestergaard hits the ball forward. He's picked out Armstrong, and Armstrong goes down. No free kick as Tillemans gets the ball back, and now it's Soyuncu onto Johnny Evans. Back he goes to Kasper Schmeichel, still goalless. Then, if you're just tuning in to listen to Leicester City against Southampton, your FA Cup semi-final coverage here on Football Commentary Live. Now Walker Peters goes down. There's a free kick for foul on Walker Peters by Jose Perez, and Walker Peters stays down looking. I think he might be looking to try and get a booking for Jose Perez here, and he just catches him late there, the Foxers man, and Walker Peters is back up on his feet now, happy to report, and Ward Prowse has ball in hand, looking for Bertrand to come across to try and work out what to conjure up between them both as Ward Prowse and Bertrand pursued over this free kick. Ward Prowse moves away and he'll leave it for Bertrand to take. He's got the ball in his hand as well, Prowse. Now push the ball downward. The free whistle goes. It's Ward Prowse to deliver. Towards Vestergaard at the far post, cleared away. Ings goes down. Gineppo keeps the move alive. Southampton, but Fofana can get the ball away. Can he? Yes. Down line to Tillemans, who flicks the ball over the head of Bertrand, who he gets the better of, and then goes down for I think a free kick's been given against Yuri Tillemans there, the Belgian. Not sure what he did wrong there, did the Belgian there. Let's have a look, see if we can find out what the Belgian did wrong there. He nudging the back, nudging the side of Ings there along with Johnny Evans. We get a free kick. And the free kick, he did nothing wrong on there. Here's Tillemans now again. Tillemans goes down and returns from Redmond. No free kick given to Leicester there. And now Walker Peters breaks a gut to move forward. Inside to Armstrong. How wide is Walker Peters? When we're rolling forward a few moments ago to get inside the Leicester half, and now ball back is in Southampton's half with Benarek. Forster's got to have a Benarek. Or Vestergaard can play it to if he wants to go short. He's got Diallo coming back, but he goes long instead of towards Redmond, but Evans wins the header. No one's there in the Leicester shirt to win the ball back. But Iheanacho has to do that from behind. And he's Tillemans into a path from Jamie Vardy. Vardy! One touch! And Vardy lifts it over the bar! And Jamie Vardy could have opened the scoring there for Leicester City and really should have done. But he failed to take his chance. And that's over the bar. A nudge from Benarek to put him off, maybe. Well, that should be 1-0 to Leicester there. 33.5 minutes gone. And Leicester have just fluffed their lines. And Jamie Vardy has as well. He's fluffed his lines. You learn them time and time again. And when you come to the big stage, you don't want to mess up. And Vardy has just done that. Leicester, and some defenders do now as Armstrong's inside the penalty area. And he wins a corner off Ricardo Pereira. Good run from Armstrong down the left-hand side this time to get the corner kick. Ward Prowse. And Gineppo stood over, coming over this way. Ward Prowse will take his Gineppo to stand back in case he wants to confuse and try and do a short option. We'll just look at where this is going. It's Ward Prowse to take. Ward Prowse delivers a low. Fofana he's come towards Bertrand in there. Now Leicester look to get the ball away, but it's Armstrong running back off Jose Perez, trying to put the ball in. What about Ricardo Pereira and Tillemans? And Tillemans, in fact, should I say, he's out for a throw. Southampton, signalled by Sean Massielis. Leicester 0, Southampton 0. Walker Peters with a long throw. Bertrand flicks on. Comes on Gineppo at the bar post. Castagna gets the ball away for Leicester. Vardy putting under pressure is Vestergaard was putting under pressure there. Southampton looking to continue on this front foot as they have been doing for the past 5 or so minutes now. Leicester 0, Southampton 0, and the ball is played down the line and can't pick out Leonchu. Can't pick out Redmond or Armstrong against Leonchu, there should I say. We're currently 0-0, but that's the chance for Bertrand a few moments ago and Vestergaard in there as well. And Jose Perez just nipped it away from Vestergaard. Otherwise, it could really be 1-0 Southampton there. Now Pereira picks up, knocks the ball back for Soyuncu. Down the line it goes. That's Soyuncu. Perez is there. Inside is indeed in. Across now to pick out Castagna. Castagna with the ball back. Now it's Johnny Evans across to Carlos Soyuncu. Soyuncu will look to fetch the ball forward. It's now with Ricardo Pereira. Can't pick out the run of Jose Perez, who's trying to get in behind there. It's still goalless. If you're just joining us here on Football Commentary Live, the ball is it forward down the line. It goes and Johnny Evans is there. Knocks the ball back to Schmeichel. He kicks the ball out wide for Johnny Evans. Down the line for Soyuncu, who turns away from his man, which is Redmond. Inside to Tillemans, a crossfield pass. Now to fetch Timothy Castagna to try and get Leicester moving over on that far side. Here's Wesley Fofana now into Tillemans. Back to Fofana again. And now Johnny Evans. Ball forward looking to pick out Ricardo Pereira. Is just overwritten. He's out for a throw to Southampton. Approaching the final 5 minutes of the first half is still 0-0. Schmeichel kicks long. There's been 3 attempts to Leicester, not Southampton yet. None of the attempts have been on target. We yet to see a shot test. Either Kasper Schmeichel or Fraser Forster in the goal. Walker Peters. Ward Prowse back to Walker Peters. Jose Perez just in there, almost in behind there. And good defending it was, and Leicester may try and start creeping on to the front foot towards the end of this first half. Leicester 0, Southampton 0 is the score in the FA Cup semi-final. Headed down by the farm, and now it's Benny Wednesday the forward. Diallo's there, and balls it from Tillemans, giving away. It's now Armstrong trying to get forward. Ward Prowse into Gineppo, flies it into him. Can really control that. Gineppo wins the ball back. Gets the ball going to Chris Kavanagh. As indeed he went down, trying to appeal for a free kick where his teammates, though he didn't really appeal for anything himself. Gineppo knocks the ball back to Vestergaard, and Vestergaard will knock the ball into Armstrong, and Armstrong will play the ball Out wide to Kyle Walker-Peters. Down the line it goes. Here's Armstrong to keep all the possession. Back into Walker-Peters, who takes the throw. He went out for a throw-in on this near side, and it's all the way back now with Forster from that throw-in, played by Benarek. Now Diallo into Ward-Prowse to Benarek, and Benarek has Walker-Peters, who can't pick up possession. Armstrong's there. Good run from Armstrong. Going away, here's Ndidi. Ricardo Pereira. Here's Evans. Now Soyuncu, who looks to keep all the possession. Evans, Leicester looking to keep all the possession for the final less than 5 minutes of this first half. 4.5 minutes of this first half. Here's Iheanacho, now on to Tillemans. Out wide is Castagna, in towards Jimmy Vardy, who can't get there, and he's cut out by Vestergaard. He's behind for a corner. Leicester's thought to go on top. Vestergaard is there, and he's behind for a corner to Leicester. Good defending from Vestergaard there to cut out that ball into the penalty area for Jamie Vardy, who's now stood in front of Fraser Forster. Indeed, Iheanacho, Soyuncu, Fofana, Evans all up there. Tillemans takes the corner. He's come towards Ndidi just over from Wilfred Ndidi, and the midfielder couldn't turn his header on target. But that is a fantastic header just over the bar in the end. Leicester 0, Southampton 0 is the scoreline. Forster takes the goal kick for Southampton up towards halfway and over halfway. Vestergaard wins the header up towards Gineppa, but Southampton get the ball back. With a red tennis going on there. Now Leicester have possession, but Southampton won it back. Now here's Redmond. Turns away from his man. He's got no one in support at the moment, Redmond, so he has to go all alone. And Leicester did well to get men back to cut out that danger. And he's now ball up towards Jimmy Vardy. Is picked up by Walker-Peters, and Walker-Peters into Diallo. Diallo now finds Armstrong inside to Redmond. Giving away to Vardy. Away from Diallo, and now trying to get away from Walker-Peters. He can't get the ball in as Walker-Peters comes across to block his attempted ball into the penalty area. And it's Leicester 0, Southampton 0. Here on Football Country Live, approaching the 43rd minute, as we've just hit that mark right now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 if you want to sync us up. There's Tillemans way to take this corner then. In from Tillemans. Header flicked on. The back across goal. Comes from Jimmy Vardy over the bar. Fantastic corner from Tillemans. On the offside initially, but when the ball back across is not offside and he's just over the bar. And that was a good chance. Of a corner, which Tillemans will take again. A little bit deep again. Well, everybody this time and behind for a goal kick. Leicester 0, Southampton 0. If you're just joining us here on Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentary. If you want to tune into a couple of other channels, on Trevor Sports yesterday, there was the virtual FA Cup, and Leicester were in action against Newcastle, and Liverpool took on Tottenham. Find out how they went on over on Trevor Sports after this commentary. And also, if you want to join into other commentaries that our friend JB has done, tune into JB Sports. You leave myself on there. Just rants about Burnley and his future plans for Euro 2020 as Ward-Prowse comes forward for Southampton in the era now in this Premier League, in this FA Cup clash, as we enter a minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half as Ward-Prowse wins a free kick and it's a foul. Well, Jose Perez seemed to have got the ball. And he's having a word with Chris Kavanagh and Ward-Prowse saying if that's a free kick, how come the ball went the way it did if he didn't play? But the referee has made his final decision. It's Leicester 0, Southampton 0, touching the final few seconds of this first half, and Southampton have a free kick. What can they conjure up from this one? Can it be the opening goal as Ward-Prowse puts the ball in, headed away by Soyuncu, and he's come towards Armstrong, who collects the ball as that's because the half-time whistle has been sounded by Chris Kavanagh, and at half-time it's Leicester 0, Southampton 0 in the first half. No chances on target from either side as of yet, but let's hope we get some in the second half. Plenty of possession, plenty of chances, but none yet to test the goalkeeper. Let's hope we get some in the second half. We're at half time. It's Leicester 0, Southampton 0, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to Football Commentary Live's coverage of the FA Cup semi-final between Leicester City and Southampton. It's currently goalless at the break and both teams have had chances but yet to test the goalkeeper in either goal. And excuse me if you just heard me burping on air, I do apologise for that. I'll just have a look at some stats at half time. While it is 0-0, we had chances from both sides. As I said, it's good to see the fans back inside the stadium. We've had 45% possession to Leicester, 55 Southampton, 5 shots to Leicester to 0 from Southampton, none on target for either side, 3 corners to 1 in favour of Leicester, and 7 fouls to 2 in favour of the Foxes as well. And Leicester dominating the shots, corners, and committing the more fouls. Southampton just dominating that possession stat at this moment in time. Can they change that around? This could go all the way at the moment, but Leicester and Southampton currently goalless are the Brave. We're just looking through some of the chances at half time if we can get to look to see them in this time. We'll just have a look at some of these. And just looking at the Jamie Vardy chance at this moment in time where Tillman's played the ball through to Jamie Vardy. I thought he was going to score, but he just lays it over in the end. Good to see some fans behind the crowd there. In the crowd there behind the goal there, should I say. Header over the top from Vardy as well. That was a good, decent effort. I think Benno put him off on that occasion, as we've just seen that chance again. But Southampton yet to really test the goal, which is guarded by Kasper Schmeichel in that first half. But the break is still goalless, and anyone's game in this FA Cup clash is Leicester and Southampton, who are taking place today, and it's goalless. Oh, you're doing okay, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully you're doing okay. Hopefully you're enjoying the broadcast. If you're just tuning in, it's still goalless, and we're currently at half time. That's why there's no commentary at this moment. Down here, so hopefully you're doing okay this Sunday evening, and hopefully you've had a fantastic Sunday to those that are tuned in right now. We'll have a look at some more of the action very, very soon, and we'll get ready for second half commentary very, very soon as well. But at half time, it's 0-0 between Leicester and Southampton, and hopefully we'll get some goals in the second half. It's fantastic. It's been a fantastic game to watch. Chances, but not on target yet. Really need to test the goalkeeper. And good game so far in this one. Chris Kavanagh not really had much to do. Neither as either officials Dan Cook or Sean Massielis at the moment. Still 0-0 then. We're waiting for the second half to get off and underway. And if it goes the distance, we will have extra time and potentially penalty kicks to come. I wonder who will get my man of the match this evening. We'll let you know. If that is the case, we have got VAR today, as I mentioned, guys, but it'll be interesting to see how that goes this second half, and hopefully we get some goals. If Leicester still goalless and want to get some goals, they have got Vardy and Nacho on the bench, but players that can create off of the bench to fetch on. They've got likes of James Maddison, Brighton, Under as well, and for Southampton, Adams and Ludu, Walcott, Teller as well. So there'll be a number of changes that teams can actually make if they are to want to get back into the situation and hopefully and try and change the scoreline. But I reckon both teams will stick with what they got at the moment, and we will see how the second half unfolds in just a few moments. Interesting first half, as I mentioned. No shots on target yet, and from the quality of the sides that have put out with the strikers on show, Vardy, Nacho, Perez up front for Leicester, Ings, Redmond, Armstrong, Gineppo, Ward-Prowse as well. Southampton are really surprised that it still goes at this moment in time. As we get ready for the second half, we'll have a look, see if we've got any comments in from people who are tuned in with on our Twitter at Commentary Live 1 if you want to get in touch with us, and I'll have a look at the comments that people are saying at half time. We've got some comments here which is from Moles, who says, "Come on, you Saints." Another one from John Crouch, he says, "Saints always come on strong in the second half," which they seem to tend to do in the second half. The Manchester United fan, both teams can play way better, but the caginess is understandable given the occasion. Maddison and Albrighton, Adams and Walcott are the only game changers available to either manager, so it could be a long evening. That's from Shivan, a Man United fan. Nidge is Southampton fans per 45 minutes that will either make or break our season. Big second half. This lads up the Saints. So he'd be wanting Southampton to get something. Paul Elliott has put both FA Cup semis have been boring over the second half of Leicester Southampton is much better. And I hope so too, my friend. I hope so too. We can be interested to see how that second half under goes ahead. It's goalless at the break then between Leicester and Southampton. Will be interested to see how the second half gets underway in a few moments. The players are back out now. Southampton was back onto the pitch. Leicester are already out there. So time to get ready for the second half coverage of Leicester versus Southampton in the company of myself, Russ Vernon, in a couple of seconds. You join me back as Southampton kick us off, attacking the goal to my left in the white shirt with red stripe across, white shorts, white socks. Leicester all in blue. They tell the goal to my right in the second half, and there's the first touch for Southampton's James Ward-Prowse. Running through the teams in a second. Schmeichel in goal, Soyuncu, Evans and Fofana. Castagna, Tillmans, Ndidi, Ricardo, Perez, Vardy, Iheanacho. Southampton, I'll go through their team right now. It's Forster, Bertrand, Vestergaard, Benderak, Walker, Peters, Armstrong, Gineppo, Ward-Prowse, Diallo, Armstrong, Redmond and Ings. The benches for Leicester, they've got Danny Ward, Maddison, Albrighton, and Marty, Under, Chowdhury, Mendy, Pratt, Thomas. And for Southampton, McCarthy, Stevens, Adams, Salisu, Teller, Walcott, and Ludu, Ferry, and Yankovic. The referee is Chris Kavanagh. So with a free kick for Leicester. Into Johnny Evans then, and missed a minute and a half of the second half got us. Leicester 0, Southampton 0. Here on Football Commentary Live. The Home Alternative Commentary. You can listen to us across YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch as Benarek feeds in Bertrand. Will we get a shot on target in the second half? I wonder. Is Fofana loses out now, Gineppo trying to get there, but Johnny Evans does absolutely fantastically well. Then he falls over and after kicking the ball out and concedes a free kick. He was looking for a foul not given there. And let's have a look at this again. What he found, he was pushed in the back and he got back up and slipped. He tried to keep the ball in and the ball went out as Diallo keeps all the possession for Southampton. Now Walker Peters on to Armstrong, who's got Walker Peters out wide of him if he wants to use him, and he does. Up against Ricardo Pereira, Armstrong down the line. Pereira is clear only as far as Walker Peters once more. Into Redmond. Now Ward-Prowse. Diallo. Good play this from Southampton. Here's Benderak. Over the top looking for Kyle Walker Peters. And then Soyuncu's across there. And it's a free kick for foul by Soyuncu. And Soyuncu could be in trouble here. It could be another booking. And it is. It's a booking for Kadlar Soyuncu. And Southampton have a free kick over on that far side. And Southampton very, very promising position for this free kick in a crossing position. Kadlar Soyuncu, confirmation of his booking just there on my monitor in front of me. Here's James Ward-Prowse, who will get ready to whip this free kick in. Benderak is up from the back. So it's Bertrand and Vestergaard. They've also got Redmond and Ings inside the penalty area. Ward-Prowse standing over this. Bertrand in there as well, if I'm not mentioning him. Let's come to Vestergaard, who heads just wide in the end, and Yannick Vestergaard couldn't keep his head down, and Southampton another chance for them, but another effort off target. Leicester 0, Southampton 0 as the match is Still being played as Southampton win a throw as Walker Peters will look to take. And he knocks and he takes it back into Ben Narak back to Forster, who takes a touch with his right foot and then clears with his left downfield onto the head of Fafana, who heads it down on to by Tillemans in towards Iheanacho. Tillemans can't win that, and Diallo gets there. Now Castagna back to Fafana. Down the line he goes into Iheanacho. Now Castagna back into Iheanacho. Away from Ward-Prowse. Goes down. No free kick. Southampton have the ball back with Redmond, but giving away. Here's Tillemans. Now on to Jose Perez. Jose Perez away from one. No away from Ward-Prowse, but then Tillemans out wide to Castagna. Leicester not done with this possession. They've got just jetters because Fafana giving the ball away this time, but Bertrand to Gineppo, and he gives the ball back to Tillemans, and both teams giving the ball away very cheaply in this opening few minutes of the second half. We've played 5 minutes of the second half. It's still Leicester 0, Southampton 0. If you are just joining us here on Football Commentary Live, the home for alternative commentaries. Redmond away from his man in towards Soyuncu, and now is Fafana, and Fafana back to Johnny Evans, who ties up and finds Soyuncu, and Soyuncu, Gaglar Soyuncu, the Turkish international, who cleared the ball with his right foot and plays it with his left to Johnny Evans, who sees Fafana in space, who now sees Castagna in space. Back to Fafana, who has to go back to Kasper Schmeichel, who takes touch with his right and passes the ball with his left to Johnny Evans. Now it's with Soyuncu. Now the line into Ndidi, back to Soyuncu, and Leicester City just keeping hold of possession. And the ball is forward into the path of Bertrand. Now he gets it back from Gineppo, and down the line from Bertrand again, who is overly looking for Redmond. And Kasper Schmeichel claims that with ease and controls the ball well. Leicester 0, Southampton 0. He just goes, as the Perez gets away from his man, but can't keep hold of possession. All that advantage was being played. And as soon as he lost the ball, the advantage stopped. Southampton conceded a throw as Walker Peters trying to pull the ball down the line towards Armstrong. Is cut out, and it was hit out by the Saints right back, and the ball's over to look for Jamie Vardy in behind, but Ben Narak reads that. Now Vestergaard controls it up towards halfway, over halfway into Redmond, who turns under no pressure, and then slips the ball through towards Danny Ings. Fafana's across there. Good defending from Wesley Fafana, and it's behind for a throw, I think. Or has he gone behind for a corner? This all tells. Lovely one from Redmond. He's offside, it's Danny Ings. If he had a touch that, he left it. And the ball went out to play for a goal. But the offside flag was raised in the end, and Kasper Schmeichel takes the free kick. Lovely to pick out Jose Perez, but Perez gets it back with Ricardo Pereira. Now Soyuncu hits the ball, but looking for Vardy, but he's out of play, which Albrighton controls well out for the field of play. Would have been a superb ball if he was on the field of play with that control. The Leicester 0, Southampton 0 is the score line, and it's still goalless here on Football Commentary Live, the home of alternative commentary. Southampton 0, Leicester Southampton still goalless. Coming up towards 54 minutes in this game as we look for coverage of this encounter this evening. Soyuncu knocks the ball back to Schmeichel, and he knocks the ball into the path of Soyuncu again, who finds Evans to Ricardo Pereira to clear long looking towards Jamie Vardy. Will then control his Evans, Ricardo Pereira down the line, and Jamie Vardy spun in behind Ben Narakia. Still going Jamie Vardy, posts the ball back. Is he natural in the shot block? Battery natural, it's gone in! Leicester City have opened the scoring! It's Kelechi Iheanacho with the first goal for Leicester. Kelechi Iheanacho has broken the deadlock, and Leicester City, I must say, have been dominating possession at the start of the second half, and the man who just put the ball in the back of the net, Kelechi Iheanacho, has just scored his 15th goal of the season. And a fantastic goal from Kelechi Iheanacho. Southampton caught out. Good block initially by Vestergaard. When it came back to Iheanacho, one thing was on his mind. Side-footed first time, and he went beyond Forster and in the back of the net. And Southampton are behind. Leicester 1, Southampton 0. And now, will the floodgates open? Or will Southampton try and keep it short? 55 minutes on the clock when that goal went in. And Leicester have a 1-goal lead to protect now. Kelechi Iheanacho, 15th goal this season in all competitions, as I've mentioned. And Che Adams looks set to come on for Southampton. Be interesting to see who is the man that comes off to replace him. As Iheanacho trying to get it again as Forster collects the ball there. Speaking of Che Adams, who is getting ready to come on for Southampton in a couple of minutes, he's just getting ready. Final touches on the sideline. He has scored 7 goals in 35 appearances in all competitions this season for the Saints. We're looking to add to that talent this afternoon or this early evening as we enter quarter to 8 here in the UK. And Gineppo puts the ball in. It's Robert Fofana behind for a corner. Well, Southampton are adamant and stick his hand and believe for a penalty. Chris Kavanagh's not moved and his arms by his side. If they are to give this, very, very harsh, but I don't think they're going to look at giving this. And now Chadham's, the Scottish international forward, is about to come on for Southampton and it's for Nathan Redmond, who is going off. And Nathan Redmond leaves the field on 58 minutes for Che Adams, and Redmond not really done much. And I think the substitution was always going to be happening very, very soon if that continued. And that goal from Kelechi Iheanacho was Leicester's first shot on target from 7. What can Southampton do from this corner, which Ward-Prowse will take? And Ward-Prowse delivers the corner in towards the penalty area. Punched clear by Kasper Schmeichel. There's out for a throw which Armstrong will take back to Walker Peters. Now Diallo will look to get the ball back in towards the penalty area, in towards Vestergaard in there. Comes out to Musa Gineppo, who puts the ball out wide to this right hand side where Armstrong collects, but under pressure from Jose Perez, and Armstrong will look to take the throw quickly into Walker Peters, and Jose Perez knocks the ball out again for another throw. Now Leicester ready to make a substitution. And it's Mark Albrighton who's the man that's going to come on here. We just see who comes off here for Mark Albrighton. And it's Ricardo Pereira who is the man that is changed on the hour mark by Brendan Rodgers. And Leicester City, leading by a goal to no cease, their right wing back Ricardo Pereira substituted in place of Mark Albrighton, who will come on and slot in at the right wing back position right now. Fresh pair of legs for the final half an hour for Leicester. And Adams goes down, but nothing given in terms of a free kick for Southampton, and the winner throw again do the Saints, which Walker Peters will look to take. Takes it back to Jan Bednarak and into Diarra, but it's lost it, and now Vardy can try and get on end of this through ball as to put Albrighton away on that through ball, I should say, and he couldn't get there. Here's Tillemans, back heel, and loses out. Now Danny Ings away from his man. And still going Danny Ings. On to Chadams, on from the bench. Chadams shoots is blocked. Comes out to Diallo, whose effort is over the bar and into the crowd. Behind that goal, and is actually delighted to say into the crowd behind that goal. And Leicester City with a chance, lost out of possession, and then Chadams with a chance. Well, come out to Diallo, and he fired just over the bar. Really should be testing Kasper Schmeichel there, and so far Southampton haven't done that, and Southampton need to wake up if they are to try and do that. We've got more commentaries coming up some ways. Ings inside the penalty, Danny Ings getting a shot blocked, tried to backheel it into the path of Che Adams, who was in there. We'll try and get you to let you know what games we've got coming up if we've got any midweek. We have got one coming up tomorrow for you, which sees Mike Orneman bring you commentary on Leeds United's Premier League clash with Liverpool, kick off at 8 o'clock. Mike will be on there from 7:45, and I think Kieran Riley may be presenting that one for Mike, so stay tuned to Football Commentary Live for Leeds United against Liverpool tomorrow. Here's Fafana, who concedes a throw to Southampton, and now Bertrand will look to take the throws. On this near side to the left as we look, and Bertrand gets to take the throw, and he initially for where he'll get booked will Ryan Bertrand, with Gineppo now with possession, and Gineppo runs the ball out of play. Does he know? He's put back in, and he's out for a throw to Southampton again. Looks as though Gineppo had run the ball out of play for a moment on this near side, but nothing given. Bertrand, long throw into the penalty area, headed away by Evans. Comes into Kyle Walker Peters, who is blocked. He comes towards Danny Ings. He breaks in the penalty area for Armstrong, who delivers the ball back in. Comes to Diallo from the edge of the box, and just well from Ibrahim Diallo on 63 minutes in Southampton. Really trying to cause a few problems now, and they're looking to do that. Kelechi Iheanacho's goal is a difference that separates the two sides. If you're just joining us, his goal on 55 minutes after the initial shot was blocked. Then Southampton fetched on Adams for Redmond, who've not really done much today, and then Albrighton came on for Ricardo Pereira for a straight swap in the wing-back role, and Southampton will look to do a bit of defending. Now, we're coming up towards the 19th minute of the second half, 64 minutes on the clock. Leicester 1, Southampton 0, as Soyuncu collects possession. You're listening to Football Commentary Live. If you want to get in touch with us here on the channel, you can do. Don't forget you can follow our Twitter and tweet us. Our Twitter handle is at Commentary Live 1. Want to visit our Facebook page? The best way to follow Football Commentary Live, go to facebook.com/FootcomLive. Now Southampton have possession with Bertrand into Ibrahim Diallo, who looks to fetch the ball forward and he's out wide now with Musa Gineppo. 90 minutes gone in the second half is Leicester 1, Southampton 0, coming up towards the 20th minute in the second period, 65 minutes on the clock. And we've just hit the 65th minute mark. If you want to sync up, we're on 65 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th second. And now Benarak feeds in Walker Peters away from one, and Jose Perez nips into the ball back. He's in Nacho back into Jose Perez. Jose Perez on that far side. Down the line it goes into the path of Indeed. Now it's with Soyuncu and now with Johnny Evans and back to Soyuncu again. Now Castagna crossover on the far side and it's out of play for a throw. James Madison about to come on for Leicester City here. Be interested to see where he comes on for as we're approaching the 66th minute, 21 minutes of the second half as Iheanacho chests the ball down. But Ward-Prowse gets the ball back. Now it's with Che Adams and Che Adams will look to pitch the ball forward and he feeds in Ryan Bertrand and Bertrand knocks the ball back into the path of Forster, who kicks long downfield onto the head of Castagna and he makes sure his head gets back into the path of Kasper Schmeichel. Dennings went down there, looked as though he had been fouled by Kaglar Soyuncu as we just look at this again. Soyuncu just shoulder barge into the side of Danny Ings, nothing untoward for that one in my view, and the referee and officials tend to agree with my verdict of what happened there. Here's indeed the white Castagna. Castagna now knocks the ball back to Soyuncu and now it's Johnny Evans who finds Wesley Fofana. Fofana back to Johnny Evans and Leicester just keeping the ball well. Good bit of play. The ball is forward looking from Jose Perez and now it's the ball is back with play. Now is inside to Ward-Prowse. Across now it goes into the path of Bertrand. Bertrand gets the ball forward. Back it goes now to Vestergaard. Vestergaard across to Benarek and Benarek across to Walker Peters and Walker Peters down the line into the path of Adams who turns away from his man and now feeds out wide Ryan Bertrand. Bertrand is good. Jump outside and finds Ward-Prowse instead. On to Gineppo. Scott fouled by Iheanacho, the goal scorer for Leicester. We now in the 24th minute of the second half see James Madison come on. And is Jose Perez, the man who makes way. And Perez has done well so far today. Up until the substitution, it's been a good game for Jose Perez. Scores a few problems when Leicester went on the attack. But Southampton have a free kick which will be taken by James Ward-Prowse, who will look to lift the ball in towards the penalty area. Will he look towards Vestergaard on that far side, or will he try and find Gineppo? If he tries to find Vestergaard, Soyuncu reads that situation well. And now Iheanacho pitches the ball down and turns away from Ward-Prowse and then puts the ball in for Albrighton. Mark Albrighton's on the run now for Leicester against Southampton. Into the path of Jamie Vardy. Turns away from his man. Back into Yuri Tillemans. Tillemans on wide now for Wilfred Ndidi. Down the line, it goes from Castagna into the path of Iheanacho. Now Madison, first real touch for James Madison since coming on. Into Iheanacho, back into Madison. Madison turns away. Down the line it goes, into the path of Castagna. Back into Madison, back into Castagna. And a free kick for Leicester, foul on James Madison, who's in a good promising position. As Leicester will try and flood the box now with Fofana, Soyuncu's on a booking, Evans coming up from the back. They'll probably have Tielemans in there. Vardy and Nacho definitely being there. Tielemans just walking away from this. Soyuncu's coming up. Indeed, looks like he may be the midfielder getting in and around the penalty area with Tielemans just sitting back as Leicester have a free kick here. On the left side, Madison takes in towards the penalty area, just overhitting the end from James Madison, and is behind for a goal kick to Southampton, and is still 1-0 to Leicester. Just watching the goal again as Vardy got the ball back. The ball from Leicester got it at first, and just as he came back to him here, he hit it first time side foot on the leg of Bertrand, should I say, and beyond Forster in the goal, and Leicester, from the chances that they created, certainly deserve to be in the lead, which they are. The Fofana is down injured now for Leicester City. Didn't really see what's happening there, so glancing down at my notes as you can watch it again now. Jerome looks where he is and then just leaves an elbow on the side of the central defender, the Frenchman. French and Ivory Coast man can play for either France or the Ivory Coast. Double substitution for Southampton is about to be made as we have played 27 minutes of this second half. And Leicester solid 1-0. Gineppo makes way for Theo Walcott. And the ball is back with Fraser Forster now as the outside his penalty area kicks long, left footed over halfway, flicked on by Walcott towards Gineppo, but Walcott's flick on must have got a nick off the Leicester man, Albrighton, for a throw to the Saints. As Ward-Prowse picks up inside, as Diallo plays the ball forward and is gone behind for a goal kick to Leicester. Kasper Schmeichel with the goal kick for the Foxes, and Leicester lead by a goal to nil if you're just joining us here on Football Commentary Live. Leicester 1, Southampton 0 is the score, and Leicester win a free kick foul on Yuri Tielemans in there from Diallo. And just looking at the foul again, it was Diallo who fouled him right in front of the referee, and he couldn't really give much other than a foul there. Leicester 1, Southampton 0 is Out of play for a third Southampton is the ball down the line trying to find Castagna was all the 8. And there's Evans who knocks the ball back down the line. Here's Madison, taken up by Iheanacho wide. Now it's Castagna. Castagna goes down under the challenge of Walker Peters and wins a free kick. And Southampton on the back foot now as Leicester power forward to try and get more goals out of this one. It's Leicester 1, Southampton 0. If, as we enter the final 15 minutes of the game, if we are to get an equalising goal from Southampton, we will have an extra 15 minutes plus added, plus potentially penalties as free kick is into the penalty area from Madison is not done by Fofana, who was hit by Albrighton in fact, as Castagna just runs back to win the header and the ball out of play for Southampton throw, which Armstrong will look to take quickly, but instead he'll leave it for Walker Peters, who will now look to find Ben Nurek, and Ben Nurek will play across to Vestergaard, and Vestergaard plays the ball forward into the path of Armstrong, giving away to Walker, should I say, but giving away. Now Fofana can come forward. Here's Tillemans. Down the line he goes towards Albrighton. Iheanacho's in there, the Vestergaard, and Iheanacho's away. He's got Madison outside of him in front of him. Plays in James Madison over the bar. And James Madison really should have done better there. He really should score, but he didn't. And that is a great bit of play from Iheanacho. Away from Vestergaard, away from Ward-Prowse, and Benjamin backtracking. And Walker Peters cut inside. He saw Madison on the overlap onside, but firing his effort over the bar and into the crowd behind that goal. And it's been delighted to say into the crowd behind the goal. And Leicester City 1, Southampton 0 is a score. We've played 77 minutes in total in this game. We've played 32 minutes of the second half, and Leicester still leading. As Fofana heads away, now it comes to Danny Ings on the edge of the box. Ings away from the edge of the box, now tries to put down Walker Peters. Castagna wins the header into the path of James Madison, who jinks away. Then it's again close against Diallo. Ward-Prowse went down and the challenge there. Nothing given is now Iheanacho looks to send Jimmy Vardy away. He's got Albrighton inside if he wants to use him. Jimmy Vardy inside the penalty area, crosses it back. Holds up the play well. Does Jamie Vardy, the former England man. Down the line into Castagna. Here's James Madison. He is indeed now on to Fofana, the French and Ivory Coast player man who is eligible for both countries. Is Wesley Fofana, back to the Danish stopper, Kasper Schmeichel. Now Kaglar Soyuncu to Wilfred Ndidi, who keeps all of possession and he will control the ball well. Here's Soyuncu, gets the ball forward. And now he's picked up by Tillemans into the path of Mark Albrighton, onto the path of Iheanacho. Now it's James Madison who goes for goal, and just wide from James Madison in the end. James Madison went for goal from just outside the penalty area from around about 25 yards out, but his effort just wide of the post. And James Madison not far away from extending Leicester's lead against Southampton. I'm saying good night Vienna to Southampton in the cup, because I think if that had gone in, it would have been curtains for the Saints. And now Castagna picks up the ball for the Foxes. Down the line is Jimmy Vardy chasing, which forces across there and has to get the ball clear out to play for a throw, which he has done in the end, and Leicester lead by a goal to nil against Southampton. Another free from Iheanacho into the penalty from Kelechi Iheanacho. Still going to Iheanacho. Back it goes towards Madison in there. And Castagna in there as well. Southampton get men back to defend. And now Ward-Prowse clears long downfield and he's out of play for a throw to Southampton, signalled by Dan Cook, who's got the checkered flag this evening. He's Iheanacho now. Iheanacho goes down. No foul on Kelechi Iheanacho. And Vestergaard to Diallo, and now Southampton will look to break as Bertrand tries to get forward, but his ball downfield is cut out by the head of Albrighton. Leicester 1, Southampton 0. Here's the scoreline here. And the ball is in forward, looking to pick out the run of Walker Peters over on that far side, but the ball was too much on. And as we enter the final 9 minutes of this game, I'm going to be thinking about man of the match. And you're probably going to be from Leicester's side unless Southampton turn it around and swear me to go for them. But at the moment, it's going to be on Leicester's side as Nathan Taylor gets stripped and ready to come on for Southampton. Southampton look to make their second change. Their third change, should I say, is Walcott and Adams have come on for Redmond and Gineppo. And Evans knocks the ball back into the path of Kasper Schmeichel, who clears long downfield. He's headed down into the path of Albrighton, who heads forward in towards Jamie Vardy, who put under pressure the Southampton defence, but Adams wins the head into the path of Armstrong, and Southampton concede possession once more. Soyuncu knocks the ball back to Kasper Schmeichel, who hits the ball first time onto the path of Timothy Castagna. Castagna into the path of Tillemans, back into Castagna. Down the line it goes from Timothy Castagna, and the ball is out of play for a throw to Southampton, which Bentner takes quickly to the path of Forster. Forster gets the ball back to Bentner, and he's back to Forster again, and now across to Vestergaard, who in turn passes it back to Forster. Iheanacho's gone down, and I think Forster spotted that and has cut the play out, cut the ball out for a throw. We're into the final 7 minutes of the game. 83 minutes gone on the clock. It's Leicester 1, Southampton 0. "38 minutes of the second half gone, and we can have a few minutes of stoppage time, especially for the goal and some of the choosers. Here's Madison. Ball in towards Jamie Vardy. And Vardy, can he get a shot away on goal? He has to go back to Albrighton, who he can't keep the ball in, and he's out for it. And the flag is up against Albrighton for offside from Sean. That's the other side. The offside against Jamie Vardy. Let's see who's get off. See who's get offside against here. Possibly Vardy. I think. Nathan Taylor game final between instructions. Let's come on in. It's coming on now for Kyle Walker-Peters and taking off a defender for the winger in the 85th minute of Southampton, which means they're really trying to go for this game. And Bertrand is going off as well for Salisu. 4 changes now for Southampton, 2 for Leicester. You can make 5 changes in the FA Cup this season if you're wondering why Southampton have made 4 changes already. And that ball is forward by Johnny Evans. He's out of play for a throw to Southampton. Salisu, who's just come on, will take this throw in. And he throws it down the line. And he heads it back down the line, and he's Adams flicking it on. But then he takes a throw down the line and try and get Theo Walker in behind. And Walker just keeps it from going out for a goal kick and puts it out for a throw to Leicester. But Leicester still have it. It's down by the corner flag. And Wesley Fofana. Where's he going to take this throw in from? He's making up some ground. He was down by the corner flag where the ball went out of play. He took it from nearly the edge of the penalty area as we enter the final 4 minutes, coming up towards the final 4 minutes of normal time. Leicester 1, Southampton 0. As it stands, Leicester are going through to the FA Cup semi-final unless we see a dramatic turnaround from Southampton in this final 4 minutes of this game. As the ball is forward looking for Armstrong from Teller, and Soyuncu does absolutely fantastically well there to shepherd the ball out, and they go behind for a goal kick. Leicester 1, Southampton 0 is the scoreline. If you're just tuning in around the world, is as we see Inacho's goal again, a shot initially blocked from the Nigerian striker. It came back to him first time through the legs of Bertrand after his initial shot was blocked by Jan Vestergaard. Yannick Vestergaard, should I say. And I must say the officials tonight, Chris Kavanagh, Dan Cook, Sean Massielis, have all officiated this very, very well. I thought the decisions that have gone was spot on. For the majority of them, there was probably only one which I didn't agree with, but we'll see how that goes. Here's Albrighton getting the ball forward and is into the path of Vestergaard, who fetches the ball forward for Southampton into the path towards Ings, who can't keep hold of possession, and now Leicester get the ball back as Madison finds Albrighton. Good bit of play this from Leicester just to keep the ball in the final few minutes of the game, plus stoppage time, which will be coming up very, very soon. And one of the Southampton backroom staff just come up to the edge of the box behind the audience near the tunnel and having a word with the fourth official, see how long potentially they've got left to get something out of this. And I can tell them there's less than 2 minutes plus however much Chris Kavanagh has decided he wants to add on for in terms of stoppage timers. Kasper Schmeichel looks like he could be on for another clean sheet for Leicester City this season, and anyone who's normally the cup goalkeeper not involved tonight, and man of the match is being decided on the TV, but we won't tell you who they've given it to. I'll tell you I've given it to in a few moments. And the reasoning behind the situation. I'll tell you next time the ball goes out of play or when we enter stoppage time. Here's Nathan Teller attacking away from Castagna, and Castagna gets back at him to win the ball back, but he's now brought for Diallo, and Diallo trying to get the ball forward. He's kept in by Madison, and Madison wins a throw to Leicester. And while we wait for this throw to be taken, the man of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services, has been given to, from my point of view, has gone to Yuri Tillemans. He has done well in front of the back four, in part of the midfield four tonight, in front of the back three, alongside Ndidi. Showed up the defence well as we enter the 4 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this second half. But Yuri Tillemans, fantastic performance from him. Currently is our man of the match, as we just see the challenge on Jamie Vardy late by Jan Bednarek, and Bednarek very, very late. The ball had already gone, built up, stood showing, picked up a yellow card as Jan Bednarek for that challenge, and Jan Bednarek very lucky to only see a yellow card for that challenge there. Potentially could have seen red. Here's Iheanacho back. He goes, here's Armstrong. Iheanacho wins the ball back, and here's Tillemans. How wide it goes to Timothy Castagna. Inside to Iheanacho. Good play from Iheanacho, edge of the box. So Kelechi Iheanacho shot blocked. Comes out to Yuri Tillemans, our man of the match. And now Wilfred Ndidi giving the ball away. Still going. Here's Ndidi. The ball is played through and he's behind for a goal kick for Southampton, and Leicester almost in for a second. Is a good play from Castagna to feed in Iheanacho. Initially, then Iheanacho inside the box. His shot blocked was by Salisu, and Salisu did absolutely fantastically well to get back in there to defend and put his body on the line as Southampton win a free kick. Vardy fouling Nathan Teller over there. And now Teller's going forward and leaving the free kick situation to James Ward-Prowse, who's telling everyone Southampton pushing majority of their defenders upfield now for the final few minutes. He's broke into the penalty area, and Kasper Schmeichel claims he falls down. 2 minutes gone of the 4 added on here, and Leicester City lead by a goal to nil in stoppage time, as we look forward to be going forward in this game, as Leicester City are leading by a goal to nil in this FA Cup semi-final towards the end of the match then. And Diallo concedes a free kick as Leicester look to pile on the pressure to get forward here. Fans inside the stadium having a chat between themselves and laugh. Good to see fans back in the stadium tonight. And I think, looking how it's worked out, I think it is worked out absolutely superb. Fans in the stadium, max at all times, and absolutely fantastic work from everyone involved to get this possible. As a throw is taken quickly down the line, it went from Salisu, but Southampton lost it, and the ball is up in the air. Walker collects the ball, and he'll look to take the throw in quickly, and he'll want to take it quickly, but he has to leave it for Salisu, and Southampton are running out of time. They've got 30 seconds to get something from this game to take it to extra time, otherwise Leicester are in the FA Cup final. Salisu again. Forward. Walker wins the ball, but it's fouled by Johnny Evans on Vestergaard. Vestergaard's going forward. Salisu going forward. Fraser Forster is going forward as well into the penalty area. Last chance saloon now for Ralph Hasenhutl's Southampton. Last chance saloon. Southampton need to score it to take it to extra time. That's why Forster's gone up there to cause a few more problems. He's in towards the penalty area, and Kasper Schmeichel claims, goes down to the floor, keeps ball in hand. And full time whistle has blown. Leicester City claim a 1-0 victory over Southampton. The goal from Kelechi Iheanacho on 55 minutes, the only goal of this game, and Southampton head out of the FA Cup in the semi-final hurdle. Leicester go on to face Chelsea in the semi-final, and it's an all-blue FA Cup final. Will it be the blue half of the Midlands and Leicester City, or will it be the blue half of London in Chelsea, who will win the FA Cup final in May? We'll have to find out. Well, full time, it's Leicester City 1, Southampton 0. I'll be back in just a couple of minutes to wrap up the programme. But it's finished. Leicester 1, Southampton 0. Welcome back then, and we're just about to wrap up our coverage of Leicester City versus Southampton. Leicester win by a goal to nil thanks to Kelechi Iheanacho's goal in the second half. His 15th goal in all competitions this season from Kelechi Iheanacho, and Iheanacho took the goal well. Again with Jamie Vardy on the pictures in front of me. Southampton didn't really have a shot on target, didn't really test the goalkeeper. Leicester reached the FA Cup final. It's a 52-year wait is over for Leicester to reach first FA Cup finals in 52 years. They'll face Chelsea on 15th of May. But let me just run through the final stats. 49% possession for Leicester, 51% for Southampton. 10 shots to 6 in favour of the Foxes. 1 shot on target all game, and that was the goal, which went to Leicester through Iheanacho, none on target for Southampton. 3 corners to 2 in favour of the Foxes. 12 fouls from the Foxes, 7 from Southampton. And Brendan Rodgers aside, march on to the FA Cup final. But full time is finished. Leicester 1, Southampton 0. Join Mike Honeyman tomorrow for Leeds United against Liverpool. Until then, take care. Goodbye.